Uh-huh. Okay, so streaming live on YouTube has started. I am a little bit all over the place this past couple of weeks. So pardon me as I'm trying to get this set up. And you might have noticed this is a little early for me, but I am on the road right now and I have to mooch off of Wi-Fi where I can. So pardon this pause as I'm trying to get everything set up. I'm just letting people know that I'm streaming and such. I'm in the middle of nowhere, but the Wi-Fi is so good right now, so yay. I feel so bad that this has to be almost an hour early, but it's all I can do right now. Let's see. Okay. And one more social media website to get it onto. Let's see if everything's still here from what I prepared before I started this stream. Oh, nope, it logged me out. No, I'm sorry, guys. Just a moment. There we are. Maybe it looks like I'm paired on here. Okay. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Today I am doing yet another picture of a bird. I love birds so much. They are such majestic creatures. So much fun to paint. I'm in love with this kind of like, not quite emerald color to start for the background. Yeah, so here we go. Let's do some complementary colors. Oops, that's way too small of a brush. And let's exaggerate those colors a little bit, because it was sunset. One of my best friends is in town, so we enjoyed the sunset together. It's kind of crazy. We just so happened to be in each other's cities and states. Like, I'm going to be visiting her state in just a short little bit, and she was visiting mine, so I think that worked out quite perfectly. So it was a very pleasant evening. Our lives are very interesting at the moment. Let's see, let's get these trees a little darker. And a new layer for our main subject. This reflection is so trippy, but I realize it's because not all of its legs are... It's like the legs grow together from its reflection. That's so weird. I'm like, what am I drawing? The last bird I did, I was like trying to figure out what type of water bird it was. I'm fairly certain it was a pelican. And I always get these guys mixed up. I think it's, is this a heron? I always, like, freak out and ask all of my bird lovers to help me out. I think this is a great blue heron, but don't quote me on that, because I could be very, very, very wrong. But he had, like, this beautiful crest, and he kept looking at me, lifting it up, and it was really cute. Okay, let's adjust this so that the neck is at the correct point. And I say this every week, but it's like sculpting. It's not. Oops, I forgot to change. Yeah, I'm not like gonna be drawing it verbatim. I'm sculpting it out, and it's gonna look more tangible. I feel like that way. There are no outlines in real life. I keep getting fuzzies everywhere, little fuzzies. Okay, so he's got a little bit more of a neck down here. And this is more of a blue than a green color, so let's get that down there. Man, I'm so zonked. Yesterday I had a full work day, which, I mean, it was busy and exhausting enough that was. But then, I just, like got to hang out with all my best friends, so I was out so late, because I didn't want to, like, miss out on my time with her. But man, and I was like, why did I wait last minute to pack things? Like, oh yeah, all my clothes are packed for this trip. But then I'm like, wait a second. Oh my gosh, like, not only do I need clothes, I need like my toothbrush and my iPad and stuff like that stuff to do in the car. I'm not the one, like, I'm not the main driver on this trip. I'm just hopping along, joining my parents on a trip. I'm like, can I come with you guys? I've been wanting to go to the West Coast for a little bit, see some friends. Yeah, definitely. So, we had a stop in West Tennessee so that my dad could preach this morning. And I'm hiding in the pastor's office, sketching before service. So that kind of gives you a glimpse into my world right now. And I'm like, to those on Watch Me Work, thank you for your grace. I'm so sorry. I meant to like message you guys and let you know that I was on this trip, but I hope like you guys will accept me still doing my stream, but maybe a little earlier than planned. I'm sorry, but at least I'm still doing something with you guys, so can't complain too much. I'm so sorry though. Yeah. I seriously love birds. They're like the modern day dinosaurs, really. I don't think dinosaurs were as monstrous as we portray them. They were just weird birds. That's not too bad. I feel like... Oh, there's a new warp thing. Let me see. Let me... Can I use the warp? I haven't tried this yet. Oh, man. I think it might be the freeform that I'm looking for. Maybe the distort? does this even look like? Sorry, just trying new things on Procreate without, like, giving them a go first. Wait, let's see if we can bring it here. And then, meh. Does that even help? Is that any different than it was before? Maybe a little bit. But we'll see. Okie dokie. They're both very odd creatures and yet very gorgeous creatures at the same time. As I was watching this guy last night, I was like, I wonder if birds realize the reason people stop and stare at them is just because they're so gorgeous. Whereas, like, they stop and they're like, oh my gosh, is this person gonna hunt me? Are they gonna kill me? And we're just like, oh my goodness, what a beautiful bird. Have any of you had the privilege of, like, having a pet bird? Because they were some of the quirkiest little creatures you could ever get. Oh, so sweet. Next week during my live stream, I'm going to try to do it, but I know I'm going to be in a car in the mountains. So I have no clue if it's gonna work or not. But I want to make it work because I know, like, I don't want to let people down, and I know that some people really look forward to this on their Sunday mornings. Some international friends, they're joining in the evening, but anywho, I don't want to be flaky. This has actually been really good for me because I at least know I'll for sure have, oh, pardon me, that was the Dunkin' Donuts speaking. I'll for sure have something new at least once a week. I mean, I'm constantly sketching and doing new things, but this is something that's been really good for me, keeping me accountable. Oh, what just glitched there? Creating something new every Sunday and including you guys in my process, and it has to be a speed paint. Like, it doesn't have to be, that's not one of the requirements to do these live streams, but still, like, I really like you guys being able to see something from start to finish in real time. Like, I don't know if that means as much to you guys as it does to me. Like, I know there have been times when I'm like, okay, it's finished, and then I go back and I edit it afterwards. I'm like, well, this tiny little bit bothered me, so I had to fix it. But for the most part, the final product has been created on these live streams. I'm just gonna make the little chicken legs look a little bit skinnier, because that's what they're like. Let's see. I think that's looking pretty good. Let's go back here and kind of smooth out that water a little bit more. I think, like, I'm gonna change it a little bit. So I am kind of loving this red and green. Like, this is my favorite use of these colors. Not doing, like, Christmas red and green, but, like, this peachy tone is just so gorgeous. I think I saw several artists in England using this color palette, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's just so gorgeous. I love it. I want to continue using a little bit more of that. Like, it's just so pretty. I don't know. I think I'm really liking this background because the bird that I did the other day, the reflection was kind of weird. It was like I had used a reference from Sketchy, and like the reflection on the water wasn't trees or anything. It was like some urban environment, and it's a little bit weird, but fun to draw for sure. But this one's a lot more beautiful, more natural looking, and a little bit more immersive, I believe. So this is kind of gonna be a little fun to replicate. I've always liked not having super sharp backgrounds. It's a lot easier to do now with my iPad than before. But then I'm afraid I'm missing out on like what some of these horizontal lines I'm doing very sharp in this reference photo, so I might have to tweak it a little bit. Let's see. I don't think I'll have it as bokeh-y as I've had in the past. So, but maybe a little mixture of both. There we are. That's not like I'm not too much of a rush right now. But as I mentioned, I've been in the pastor's office waiting for a church to start, and it's quite a small church that we're at today. So if I get getting late, I'm gonna go to the front, and everybody's gonna notice. I definitely don't want to do that. So fun. The water reflections are just so sweet and delicate. It was such a precious moment last night. I'm so thankful that I had that time with my friend. Like, I'm just thankful to have a friend that we may have traveled across the world and like gone on the best adventures and not seen each other for so long, and then just come back and just have coffee as if like it's normal to be in a completely different state, and see each other there. I'm very thankful for that friendship. And she challenges me. She's a very different minded person. Like, we may not agree on everything, but my goodness, it's so healthy to surround yourself with people that are different than you, because then you're challenged and you rethink things and see things from a new perspective. It's so good. So healthy. I love it. What a precious color scheme. I'm sorry. Don't mean to be so easily impressed by it. Okay, now I'm gonna take these further, really tiny little disturbances in the water back here and maybe soften those ones. Then I get my little depth of field that I wanted at first, but then realized would have disturbed the image. So, yeah. Because this reference photo was taken with my iPhone 6, so I definitely did not have my DSLR with me on that coffee friend date thing. So yeah, there was definitely not a good depth of field, as you can see. Plain and clear. But I will act as if there was. It was like this really cute little village that's in the middle of nowhere. I don't fully understand it. People just ride their little golf carts around, and it's just weird. But there's good tacos there, and that's all that matters, right? So, there we are. I'm liking that. That's nice. I'm gonna make this a little bigger. I'm gonna pull the screen and bring it a little bit more to the other side. Keep it around that same dullness though, but I'm gonna kind of paint out that other end of the pond. Oh, that's still the reflection, so let's not have it as vibrant as I had chosen. Yeah. And then let's just kind of blur that. Even there, make it a little darker. This is definitely something I've been working on, is that that need to have something so vibrant. It actually distracts from what you want the composition to be focusing on. And so I've been working really hard on being conservative on like what I make vibrant and what I choose to stand out. It's so important to hold back on stuff like that, because you don't want the eye drawn off the page or just overwhelmed with so much vibrancy. Your eyes need dullness in order to appreciate those more vibrant colors. So I don't know if you've noticed, those who have been following my art for a while, I don't know if you've noticed me pulling back on the vibrancy of my pictures, but I would say that's mostly it. I still obviously paint with so much color. That's my favorite part of art, is choosing the right colors and such, but I think I've grown an appreciation for those more dull colors. So yeah, that's kind of interesting, that far off reflection. Keeping it simple though today, because as I mentioned, I'm in a little bit of a pinch. But let's get this little bit of grass that I was sitting on. Let's give it some more texture though. Okay. Something I really love is that some of my Instagram followers have been sending me some of their drawings and asking for some constructive criticism and such. And it was so interesting for me because I had to like sit and think, okay, like what is working in these pictures and then what can be improved upon. And then I like took the feedback I gave and then just started looking at my art and see like, oh, well, how can I improve in that? And one of those things was using, like, be a little bit more chaotic with the plants that you allow to be in your pictures. Like, don't let everything have to, like, be planned out or perfect. And, like, I don't know, plants don't follow these expectations that we set for them or something. Like, they grow as they please. And they're very organic, very unpredictable, and they just take over wherever they are. So let things be organic, let things shape themselves. Yeah. Doop, 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 doop. Man, I had coffee way later today than normal. My eyes are so tired. I did not get much sleep last night. My brain was overactive. So much excitement going on this week. Seriously. I am tired. Okay. It's always so weird to me when I have to, like, finish out a picture that is very simple. It's like, is it finished? And then, like, always having to find those little details that make it ever so much more complete. So, let's soften the edges of this reflection, because it's not the actual bird. It is a reflection of the bird. It's not going to be as sharp. So, let's just soften that. And while I talk about that, let's take the actual bird and harden the edges of it. Oops. I want to get this white coloration a little bit more pronounced, not as sketchy. This little black thing in, like, on its head, it was like a crest. It was so cute. So, although I don't see it in the reference photo, I wanted to get the little wispiness that I saw. Take this, sharpen that beak. More of the blue that we see in that bit in the pond. Make it less thick so it stands out. Give some more form to that wing, some more shape. And I think we're almost there. So what needs to happen? Maybe slightly more texture on this grass bit right here. What did you need? Let's have Let's pull from those complementary colors, give it a little bit more of that texture, a little bit more of that contrast. Hey, there's a theme. And one of my favorite parts, airbrushing. So I'm going to take this gold, like not gold, peachy color, kind of have that reflect like that. And I want to see maybe if I can have more gold tones in here to just add some more color and contrast. And let's darken it a little bit. Actually, I want to pull this color. Yeah. Well, what are your thoughts, guys? I'm trying to think what else needs to happen, but I think it's best to keep things simple today, considering what all's happening. So here's my quick, like, what was that? I don't even know how long that was. 30-minute drawing right there. Getting a lot of, I need to put my thing on airplane mode. Well, that wouldn't have helped with iMessages. Never mind. But anyways, here's my signature. I hope you enjoyed this speed paint today. Join me next week at the actual time I'm supposed to be. 11 o'clock Central Time. It will be 9 o'clock Pacific time for me next week. So thank you for joining me. Have a great Sunday and a great rest of your week. Goodbye.